Welcome to Camera Speed, your fast track to all things TV and film production. Whether you're behind the camera, in the editing bay, or dreaming of getting your first shot, this podcast is your go-to for production techniques, equipment reviews, the latest industry news, and behind-the-scenes stories straight from the set. Each episode, we'll dive deep into the craft of visual storytelling, from mastering camera movements and sound design to exploring the latest gear shaping our industry. This is the Camera Speed Podcast.
What's good, good people? Happy to have you again. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Camera Speed Podcast. I am your host, Khomari Flash, and I'm here with my illustrious brothers, James Johnson, Cliff Johnson, Michael Noir, and of course, our man behind the board, Carlos Bradley. Today, we have a dope episode. If you were here last week, we discussed everything from industry news, cameras, favorite shows. This week, we are going into some dope, interesting topics. Balancing marriage and production, balancing relationships and production. Everybody got that ring up, so we got you. Pitching shows. It's a wild time in the TV game right now, so we'll delve deep into that. Making sure. Listen, everybody ain't got that ring money, you know what I mean? My bad. Making short films versus working for clients is a big difference between how you're putting your time in, where you're putting your time in, and with who. We will give you our personal pro tips of the week. And we'll take it from there. First and foremost, gents, how are you guys? What you guys been up to? How you all been since the last show?
Fantastic. I've been great. Lions won again, so I'm feeling real special right now. I lost my parlay, but it's all good. We still won, so
you got to win. You know what I mean?
Next time, give David Montgomery more rushing yards, please. Y'all killed me this week.
Listen, bro, the Knicks lost, the Jets lost, the Yankees lost.
Falcons lost.
I don't know what to say.
Colts lost. The Commanders lost.
Stop with the Colts and the Commanders.
I'm the only winner on the Scouts today.
Listen.
That's okay, but Notre Dame won. So you know what?
We don't
represent Naptown, so I got to represent my home state. So I'm good.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Always.
So let's jump right into it. Everybody here is in a relationship. All you guys are married. I'm recently divorced, but I've been with my girlfriend 2 years. Think we're about to be some ring shopping, so I'm gonna be right behind you boys. But how do you? Hey yo, like, come on,
no diddy,
easy, no, as Cameron would say. But even right now, we're here. It's 11:30 at night. We all have, homes and women to go to. How are we balancing even this podcast? How are we balancing your current daily lives in production? And how does that intercede with our relationships? Mike, feel like, how long you been married?
See, this is one of those things where now I am in an uncomfortable spot.
We'll start with somebody else. How long you been married?
Mike is a ghost out here.
I'm a ghost of these streets. Yes, because let me tell you something. The most important thing for me in my life is my family. So protection of my family, protection of my family's privacy, protection of my own privacy is a very big deal for me. So the fact that they actually have me on here right now, actually talking about this particular subject,
it's not even that, it could be, I'll give you my perspective.
Yeah. How about we go to your perspective?
Everybody isn't built to be with somebody who's in production. You know what I mean? I think you might be on the outside of it and thinking, that's a cool career until somebody's on set for 16 hours. You know what I mean? And then the kids got to get picked up. There's after school. There's slow days. There's times when things are shaky. So I think, my ex-wife, I think the career was cool at first. I think there was potential at first. Then after a while, the coolness wears off. And then you're like, the fuck is you doing? You see? So I think there's that balance of real life and real positions. And then there's a balance of being a freelancer and owning your own business and how everything intersects. So everybody's just not built. Some people are meant to work jobs and be 9 to 5 and 401ks and all that stuff. that's not the route some of us has taken. You know what I mean? So,
and some of us has even come from that route, which is kind of like weird because I know like I come from a very corporate background. I think that you worked corporate for a little bit. James has definitely worked corporate. And I know that you worked, everything from corporate to factory practically. So it's like we've all had those 9-to-5 moments. I think what's really important is the balance of having a partner with you that can understand what this lifestyle means and the importance of the fulfillment of not just your dreams, but what the dream can mean for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. I want to delve deeper on that because working in the industry and working towards a dream are also two different things.
That's very true. That's very true.
We'll dive into that one a little later. But Cliff, how long have you been married?
What year is this? 2024. So going on 6 years.
Did you meet your wife already in the industry? You already working in the industry? And
I was already I was here working when we first when we linked back up. So I've known my wife since I was 14.
How do you got a couple kids? You got
trio. Not trio, 3 boys now. But
school hours, like how do you find that? Like, I got one son, you got 3 kids. Like, how do you balance your time, your energy with work, and what are some of the conversations like when you got a week-long shoot, early call times, late wrap times? Like, how do you guys work that out?
It's been because both of us. I mean, I work full time. She stay at home. So anytime that I have work, I have somebody that's there. My wife is always there with the babies. And if she has something to do or she has somewhere to be, then I'll figure out a way to either leave where I'm at, or we'll just have to bring somebody to come watch the kids. So that's the difficult part, because sometimes we're trying to get like, okay, we got to find babysitters. We got to see if her dad is here, or if her brother or her sister-in-law, something like that, which is difficult in itself because they work as well. So it's been tough for us. We did have actually Mike's daughter for a while, nannying for us. And that was when I was making good pandemic money.
Pre-pandemic.
But I was away. Like I was working in a whole nother state, actually, not another state, but basically another state. We were working in Macon. James and I were on a show on a film down there working, but I was making per diem so much money.
Oh, that per diem money.
That per diem, just per diem was great.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit easier to be like, hey, we need to have somebody there. I'm not worried about whatever it is. That's, and we're going to pay it at the end of the week. So, but since I've kind of transitioned out of being in the office and trying to focus more on video work and freelance at this point, the dollars ain't so dollaring. So,
man,
it's a little, it's a cat and mouse. We got to figure it out, but it's worked out for us so far.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. The field and the office are two different things, man. And I don't think you realize it till you get out in the field. I was doing a lot of editing in LA, and even when I came out here, I was doing some stuff for Food Network and Bravo and stuff like that. Even Facebook. Facebook was doing a lot of shows a couple of years ago. I was doing a lot of Facebook shows, and then that editing money, boy, 5-6 days a week, $700-800 a day, like. But you're in your crib 10 hours a day looking at the screen. You know what I mean? So I think you miss the field, and now I'm in the field and I'm like, I missed that editing. And even then, I think you miss the comforts almost of those revolving checks and stuff like that. So, and I think sometimes that those checks can give a relationship a false impression of long-term comfort, I would say.
Absolutely.
So I think
definitely,
just my personal experience, it's whatever position you decide to take or move forward in this industry, you need to be really clear on. And I think looking back on my 20s and 30s, you start getting comfortable. Oh yeah, we'll always be here. Turn around and you're like, oh, it ain't gonna always be here.
Not, right?
Yeah, like so. James, how long you been married?
Man, I've been married about 2 years now. We're coming up on our second anniversary, so it's brand new. But I remember I told my wife when we first started dating, like, hey, most people probably ain't gonna want to date me because when I'm on set, I'm gone. You got to be real secure in your relationship to be able to handle that. Because if you have any type of notion, like, or any type of trust issues or any of that stuff, it could not even be me. If you come in with that baggage on your own, and this is not the life, because there'd be plenty of times I'm on set 2, 3 in the morning. And even more so, oh, where are you going to be today? I don't know. I ain't got the call sheet yet. So it's like, oh, you don't know where you at? You can't tell me where you going to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be real secure. But, yeah, man, it is really a strain, and it works out differently for everybody. I know just having whatever information I get, the second I get it, I'm like, hey, this is where we're going to be at. These are the people I'll be around, just try to help make it easier. But over time, I don't have to do that as much. Like when we first started, man, because that was,
communication will never stop. Yeah. Los, how long you been married?
I've been married going on 6 years. So, yeah, anniversary. I guess for me, it's been hard because I came from the corporate world. So I was doing corporate America that was like 9 to 5. And then I was doing everything creatively on the weekends or after hours, or kind of like shipping up and trying to like balance both. Originally just went to like full time into production, into freelance, and it's been hard because it's no 9 to 5 cutoff anymore. So working for me could be like something, an email come at 10, 12 o'clock at night. I need to jump on an edit, revise, the client wants something new. And I think it's just kind of hard kind of communicating that you're not on that same 9 to 5 schedule. Like your schedule is literally 24 hours sometimes, depending on what you're doing as far as that. So I think that's been probably the hardest challenge, or an expectation to go to anybody who's kind of going to the freelance market and then, you're getting married or in a serious relationship.
Have there been any conversations around the finances? Were things one way in the corporate world, and now they're not that way no more. And there's, I don't think it's ever immediate. I think things happen over time, or certain things that was happening can't happen no more. Right. And people are like, oh, well, I remember when, like, so have you experienced and how have you dealt with those money conversations? You know what I mean? Like,
I think money conversation for me specifically, it's actually been, my spouse has been really supportive. Like I said, if it's like overrun it, we're good. We go do things that we want to do. We go, pay bills that we can pay in advance or whatever the case may be. When it shifts, it kind of like the conversation, hey, we kind of have to shift this month. We can't go get, splurging or anything like that. So I've been blessed to have someone who kind of like understands to that regard. But no, I see what you're coming from though, definitely, because it is different. You still have to have the conversation. It's like, cool, this amount of money is coming every other Friday versus, hey, I got to knock this gig out so we can be good the next 4 Fridays, So I think that's what's been the difference.
Gotcha. On the flip side of the money, like, how do y'all do vacations? Cause
what vacation? Hold on, wait. What's a vacation?
I can't remember the last time I had a vacation.
Wait, was it your birthday? That was the first vacation I think I took. That was
in like three birthdays ago.
Yeah, that was maybe 10 years. No, 20 maybe. Yeah. Since my last vacation. Yeah, vacations. No. Plans. Sure, we can make plans.
we can go on a trip.
We can make all the plans in the world. Now, what's it going to be? Are you going to take that vacation? You going to take those plans and everything like that? Or are you going to take that one day of work, $1,600 check that's in the middle of that vacation. You got to make a choice. And when, you know, like you people like in Cliff's position where you're the sole breadwinner, I'm sorry, baby, we can't go. I got to take this check. You know what I'm saying? So like,
That's the tough part.
That's the tough part. So yeah,
I've definitely turned down some nice some nice paying gigs because they fall between a planned trip or a kid's game or Cub Scouts or, you know what I'm saying? It's something that's just like,
it's always something, man.
I could have made
But you know what? I still remember that one quote that's, I don't know where I read it or where I saw it. So, you know, forgive me if I'm misquoting, but I'll paraphrase. When someone was saying that on your deathbed, the last thing that you're going to remember is how much money you made, but how much time that you didn't spend doing something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that, as I'm getting older, I'm beginning to sort of like absorb that, you know, I do need to take more time for myself, take more time for my family, because, you know, like I said at the top of the segment, you know, my family is very important to me, but it's like, I gotta eat. I gotta eat. So luckily I've been fortunate, blessed enough to have a family that's very, very understanding of that. But yeah. So yeah, vacation.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough one, man.
I'm honestly, the only like vacation I have is when like we have work excursions. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, we got booked in New York.
Bruh.
Cool, we're gonna work and then we're gonna have 2 hours on the last day that we wrap to maybe go to a bar and watch a game. And then it's like, all right, well, we gotta get back. We gotta be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's now 1:30. So,
and I mean, I wish people could see what's going on behind the scenes here. Like, y'all have no idea how much we had to take a few drinks and actually sit back and relax and actually kick it, because it's like, when do we get the time? Mm-hmm. When do we get the time? The time that we can master, the time that we can take is the time that we can take.
Man.
So yeah, it's tough, man.
Very much.
Before we switch gears, I want to call Mike out for you to have such a private family and you guys get interviewed by Good Morning America.
I didn't see this.
Right. Oh, I knew about him going viral. But what was it? Was it the Shade Room who picked up Mike?
Everybody picked up.
Daddy video.
Everybody picked up. Old Father of the Year.
This is actually very soothing for me. I'm gonna need you to schedule a time I can wash your hair on a regular.
You could do that all the time. I never want to do my own hair.
Hairline, I think your hairline looks great.
Thanks.
What you tripping?
I don't know. I just felt like it was weird.
You're feeling self-conscious. You don't know if you want to do this hairstyle. You just don't want to admit it.
Well, it's only because I've never done it on myself.
You need to feel confident because you are extremely beautiful.
Oh.
And I'm not just saying that that's on your dad. Like, real talk. I made pretty kids.
FOTY.
It was never supposed to go out. She never thought that it was going to happen. Like, she was like, oh, well, I'm making my content. And she calls me up literally like while I'm on set. She's like, I don't want you to panic. I just want to let you know I posted a video of us and there's a lot of engagement. A lot. 20,000 views an hour later. She's like, Dad, Yeah, this thing is going viral, and now I guess they literally just checked. I guess it's like up to 10 million views. This thing is crazy. I don't
That
even
shit
know
better
what
be
to do.
monetized, bro.
It's a wrap.
Can we go back and put the link to the podcast under there and see if they get some residuals?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm very proud of her. I'm proud of both my daughters. They're absolutely amazing women that they've grown up to be. So if something happens where, you know, I happen to be a part of that, then I accept it. I'm not even going to get emotional. I let Carlos shift gears because I will get emotional because of the fact that I am an extremely proud dad. I love having girls, and I love the family that, you know, we built, that my wife and I built. And I just, like I said, it's kind of ironic that the one thing that I guarded the most is the one thing that people have come to know me for. It's like real weird. So, yeah. But moving on.
You can get emotional on the couch, man. That's what the couch is for, Mike. Let them tears go.
Oh man, I got to stay
We
strong.
go viral.
I got to stay
viral
strong
when you cry, man.
I think if anything, I would say for anybody watching this, communication. You date somebody, I think it's easy to be a dreamer. You know what I mean? I'm Pisces. I'm a dreamer. I'm a sell this show. We're gonna make it big, baby. And then 10 years later, it's like, I got a job tomorrow on set, so we're gonna, But be realistic, be clear, have great communication, and be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, your kids will need what every kid needs. Your spouse will need what every spouse needs. So I think there's room to dream, there's room to work, and there's room to be realistic and find a balance. And I think that's what everybody's goal is, to find that balance. Like, I enjoy watching Cliff work. He'll go from DP to production coordinator in the same week. And he's on set managing, and I'm like, it's smart. Like, smart move, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I'll
Like,
be doing the same thing tomorrow.
listen, so I think for everybody out there, like, family first, career second, because you're not going to be able to turn around, and your career's not going to bury you. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, yeah. Boy, you need to put that on a t-shirt.
we're going to pay for it. But switching gears into pitching shows. I think right now it's an interesting time where a lot of shows aren't really being greenlit like that. Me, myself, I was probably spent the last years pitching shows. I've been close, but never really like gotten over that next hump. But all in all, like, what are some personal stories you guys have about pitching shows, trailer creation, Dexter, different kind of trailers you may have worked on, and what have been your experiences? You would say.
Well, I've done a bunch of, I feel like, you know, that whole always the bridesmaid, never the bride film. So I've shot like, I don't know how many proofs of concept, how many shorts, how many teasers. And then it's just like, oh, we did the teaser. And then it's like, great, we got the funding. Great. Yeah, I'm gonna call up, like, wow, hey, wait a minute. Didn't I did the thing that got you the money, right?
Like,
oh, okay, cool. So it's been a few of those, you know.
A few?
No shade, because I mean, you know, it is what it is.
yeah.
But I feel like just being on the cusp, being like in the beginning of people's story, so to speak. That's something I can always just hang my hat on. And whether or not we continue to work in the future or whatever, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, I ain't really tripping about it, but I've definitely done a few trailers, a few shorts, few, like, you know, GoFundMes, or, you know what I'm saying, campaigns. And
There's always that hope at the begining.
yeah, it's always
Big
like,
energy.
yeah, we gonna go to Netflix. And then it's just like, nah.
We're going to Sunday.
Like, are you?
Yeah.
So it's been a few of those. So
I've jumped into so many projects, and I think for me, I worked at Backroads Entertainment, and that was a subsidiary of Left Field. Left Field Entertainment is a big person company out in New York. They do a lot of reality shows for a long time. So I was there as an intern, like cutting casting tapes and sizzle reels. So I just kind of saw firsthand what it took to like create these shows. So I think that gave me a bit of an ego. And then editing, I'm like, I could put a trailer together in a day. You know what I mean? But I think I would jump in on something, get so high and heavy on it, shop it, pitch it. I pitched to Nat Geo, pitched to BT, pitched to. Recently, I had a couple of shows over at. I still have shows at A&E now. I'm waiting to hear back on. It's been like a year. You know what I mean? Like, and that initial energy all put in, you get so excited about something. You're like, it's gonna break, and then you're like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good. We're gonna pass on this. Yeah. We've seen this already. We're just so. We're so busy right now, but we'll circle back around. You're like, what? Like, since you 10 shows, bro. What you mean you've seen this before? Like, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I had a show deal with WeTV for 5 Black women in politics. EP credit, deal was done. We had a deal with Big Fish. Big Fish was the press company on it under WeTV. Things went left, you know what I mean? And dealing with talent, bro, like, I always find talent to be the make or break when it comes to pitching shows. Like, they get you across or they're going to kill a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, one or the other. So, but Mike, I know you've been in the field on quite a few shows.
Yeah, I've definitely done my share. A lot of them, obviously, with Cliff, you know, and we've laid our foundation. I think for me, probably the biggest takeaway that I run from that is that when it comes to pitching shows and doing other people's content, you start to find yourself in the place that I'm in right now, where I start to feel like, okay, when is it my show? You know, so many times that, you know, we've come into contact with, you know, people is like, you know, yeah, I got this great show idea and everything. I just need somebody to help me shoot it. Okay. But what, you know, I've still got to eat tomorrow, or I still have to, you know, put gas in my car. You've got me driving all over Atlanta for your show that I'm never going to be a part of in the long run process. So that's the energy, unfortunately, that you can turn into, and you sort of have to transition yourself into a position where you go, okay, what is the right project for me? What is the right, what's going to be the right, you know, pitch show for me? You know, because I love helping out my friends. I love being there for people, you know. Trust me, I hear it from Carlos and Cliff all the time about.
Call him like, nigga, you got a contract with these motherfuckers? Like, you signed something? Producer credit? Like, you just jumping on, bro? Like, what we doing?
But I mean, at the same time, I am one of those people that if I'm going to be here for you, I want to be here full, and I want to give you my all, you know? And that's the only thing about doing a lot of people's pitches, is that you run into that situation where it's like, I can't give you my all because I'm so burnt out on helping out everybody. Yeah. And nobody has jumped up and been like, you know what? I have to pay you back, and I got to help you now. I got to figure this out. What do you have? What are you working on? Where can I be? You know, so for me, I'm not saying that I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and say, you know, I'm done with doing people's pitches, but I'm personally on a break with it, honestly.
I feel you. I think that's kind of like one of the reasons why this came to be for what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all of us have done so much for even just within this last, so you've been in Atlanta for what, 3 years now? 3 or 4 years?
2020. Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah. So since you've been here, you know, and since we've been working together, we've been working on a lot of other people's stuff. So when it comes to the Atlanta community, we're basically 1 degree away from everybody. Right? And it's been, every time we get on set or we're doing something, we have a conversation, we be like, man, we should be talking about this. This should be a podcast. This should be a show. This should be a talk show. This should be a TV show. This should be something. And then it's just like, yeah, but I got a call time at 8 o'clock tomorrow for X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Gotta go. So the fact that we actually have been able to come together to do this, this to me is more of, this is a proof of concept.
This is a proof of concept, and it feels good.
But it's ours. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's something that we each can put our own stamp on, promote, and pitch, and do whatever we want to do with it. It's just that we're doing it in real time.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's the craziest part that I really walked away from a lot of these pitches. You have to walk into the room like, I don't need you. This is going to happen whether you get down or not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think it's crazy when somebody thinks you need something, they're probably not going to help you with it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, it's like, I know, like, you really need to walk in with some shit halfway done or like a few episodes in, and it's like, yo, we cooking this. You can come in the kitchen or not. Like, we're going to keep moving forward whether you want to be here or not. So
on that kind of stuff, I'm working on one right now that I'm pitching the show. But in trying to get funding for it, they came to me like, all right, what are the actors you have attached? Who's the director you have attached? Where's the distribution? Where's it going? And so if you don't already have these things in place, it's like you're just another dreamer who wants for it to happen. So by coming in and saying, oh, well, we already shot this proof of concept. I've got this actor attached. This person's going to direct, and we're in talks with these 3 networks. That just solidifies you in being able, but how do you get it?
Oh, bro. You walk in the room with all that, it's like, what do I need you for?
Exactly.
Right. Halfway there, bro.
Like, because in what I found in trying to secure it, it's like each one wants to know that you got the other thing before they sign on. So the actor's like, all right, what distribution? What director, what actors? And you sitting here like, well, I can't get none of y'all because y'all don't want to.
You gotta lie. Right? You gotta start lying.
So gotta start. Oh yeah, we got.
That's why you get so many people who are like, yeah, so I've been talking to Netflix and I got a plug at Netflix, and you like, really? Okay.
And that's what a faking it till you make it come.
Yeah. Bro, I'm pitching the Nat Geo, and they're like, we're looking for a big ticket, something like current shows with Will Smith and Chris Hemsworth. I'm like, if I had access to that,
why would I be talking to you?
Yeah. Like, Los, what pitch shows have you worked on, and have you pitched any shows, and what's your experience on that side?
So for me right now, we're working on 2 shows. And then we have 1 feature in the works. I have a friend, she's a producer, director, filmmaker. She's in LA right now. So one of the cool things that she's been doing is it's funny when we're talking, we're trying to figure out what is pitching and what position are you pitching from. So like when I hear Flash, when I see you pitching, like you're talking to the actual networks, figuring out what they want, providing what you have on script. When I hear Mike say from a standpoint, from a DP, like I'm providing a lot of concepts. I'm on the groundworks of supporting somebody else's dream who may be in the front office for pitching or being considered for that next. So I understand Mike's frustration, if that's worded correctly for you, Mike. But I understand it because it's like I understand from the position of being an architect of somebody else's dream. It's kind of like working in a 9 to 5. So that standpoint, it led me into learning more about pitching Flash. And I think a lot of that is learning how to get into the rooms, like you said, with Discovery and even figure out what they want. And I think that's beneficial. So it's cool that everybody's putting together their pitch package, their pitch deck, their stories, and trying to do the next level, which is getting in front of somebody or learn the process of getting in front of somebody. So for me, it's just been doing that. Me and Ashley, she's been like a bulldog, just finding all the names that are in the offices right now. And each name just keeps leading to another name. And we all know that's one game to go down for Hollywood. It's like, okay, such and such, take a general meeting, wherever God leads you on that. But yeah, just for the aspect of just trying to learn more about the actual pitching process and then not being limited for the pitching process. So if they're saying no, whatever, we're still out there, like Cliff said, doing our own stuff, like this podcast and everything. But that's everything I got going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so many different levels to it. And I think you got to just keep going. I think me personally, I'm damn near burnt out. I think I probably pitched 20 shows this year and got dubs on everything. You know what I mean? I had a real estate show, amazing real estate family here in the Atlanta area. Husband and wife, and then 3 black sons, so 18, 15, and 12. Amazing story, you know what I mean? And I'm watching these shows on HGTV and these different shows, and I'm like, this works. This should be a good look. 8 months, you know what I mean? Two internal meetings with the talent, trailer edited, and it's like we're talking to our higher ups, this, that, and the third, and it's like, bro, like, it shouldn't take this long. It's like, so I think it's a game of patience. It's a game of you guys got to keep finding talent, keep working with talent, be contractually locked in. You know what I mean? Have all your I's dotted and T's crossed, whatever it may be. But again, you got to have balance. That can't be your only thing. You can go reckless and have no other backup plan and just be like, this is it. But you need to be able to have that balance. You know what I mean? So I think finding the mandates, working with the right people, working with the right talent, getting to the networks, and having a backup plan to pay those bills.
Yeah, that's right. That far. So
yeah.
when does it get to the point where, like, who can remember the last actual pitch that y'all got that y'all was like, that's it, that's gonna be dope, that's gonna be the one? Like, do you recall the last like serious pitch? You don't have to like say any names or anything.
Like that I actually shot,
or yeah, that you were a part of, and you were just like, you were excited about it, you felt good about it, and you felt like it was actually going to be there.
I have a few, and this is just a plug right now because the writer's here. But well, yeah, I do have a few with my awesome writing partner, Fifi Writes.
And she does a lot. She does something else too, right?
She sang
something with her voice. Yeah, she does this whole singing thing. Yeah.
But we have a lot of shows that are really, really dope that we're cultivating right now. And so those are just going to be coming soon. Yeah. And so being able to have this platform, and not just the platform, but the 5 of us, I think it's really more about now trying to get to a point to where we have the resources to do the things that we want to do.
Right.
And everybody have equity in it, as opposed to, oh yeah, I just need you to do this for me real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's just like, no, I want you to come aboard. I want you to be a part of it. We're a team. If you got something, I'm on your team. Yeah. You got, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. So there's a few things that we've come up with, and then there's a couple other people that have pitched a few things to me that I'm very interested in, but I'm still trying to wade the waters on whether or not it's worth it.
Yeah, because I think ultimately that's what we have to figure out is like which ones are going to be worth it, and then which ones are going to be that adequate paycheck, because you know that they don't really have like the full paycheck. So it's like it's that balancing game. It's like, well, I kind of do need to put gas in my car this week.
Right.
Let me go ahead and take this gig. So yeah.
It's funny you say that. That's definitely the next section. Making short films in your own projects versus working with or for clients. I like working with you guys. You guys are heavy on the scripted side, and I'm really not. I'm much more so like, I want to go get these. You guys do everything. Me, I'm not super scripted, but I see you guys, you're like, yeah, we just did a short film. It's premiering next week. I'm like, oh shit, like, how do y'all balance all this shit? Like I might get a call from the Shade Room or Essence. I'm calling Cliff and we're popping out to knock it out. In between that, I'm at home trying to figure out like some kind of golf series or some shit. Like I'm not really putting my name in a hat for like a lot of scripted projects. So I say that to say like, how and when, do we all find that balance between paid work and then regular everyday personal projects?
I think Welch said it earlier because he was talking about, you said you were doing like the client work Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, that's when you find your time to do, because for a lot of us, when we're dealing with clients, the clients are working the traditional corporate setting. So they're, during the week. So anytime that anything's happening during the week, that's reserved for money that's going to bring us in. Now, if something pops off on the weekend, and it's typically, in my experience, it's been less because it's somebody who's trying to pull something together, trying to get something off the ground. But for the most part, my weekends are reserved for those narratives and those scripted content. And then really just doing it like that until something takes over everything.
Right.
If you ask anybody, like even us having a conversation, one of the big things that I'm proactive about is it's cool to have a conversation about, oh man, I know such and such. I know this actor. I know this producer. If you do everything, it'll line up. I'm real big and just like, if you can fund it, if you can go find the money, go do it yourself. I mean, if we're coming from the era of like Robert Townsend, like he made movies in an era where nothing was accessible. Like a lot of these people were editing in film schools. Like you had film cameras, and then Robert Townsend, the Wayans brothers, they made all their resources and found everything they needed to do to make their films in 1991. We're 2024 and we have all the gear that we have. Obviously, there's still business and like, monetary resource stuff that you got to get familiarized and you got to learn. But I'm a proponent of just like, just go out there and make it. Now make it good. Take your time in that aspect, but you just gotta make it. There's too much out here now. There's too many resources, too many distribution points. A lot of people don't know, but people are looking to see your traction. They'll take your traction before they take you sitting in a room with them. So go ahead and build your audience. Go ahead and find the audience. Do the hard work first. And I promise you, everybody else is coming because that's where the trend is going now. So that's my 2 cents.
I feel like I've been wanting to. I know we always talk about, we got to shoot something, let's shoot something. And then I get to a point to where I'm like, but it's not perfect. Like I got so much stuff that's on the hard drive that I'll be like, nobody's ever going to see this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I go on Tubi or YouTube or whatever, and I'm like, look at all this crap. Right. But it's got a viewing. It's got, you know what I'm saying? It's got an audience. It's got some sort of money coming in. And then I'll be like, damn, this thing that I think is shitty on my hard drive is way better than this. So why don't I put it out? And so it's like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know if it's just the perfectionist in me that won't allow myself to fail on camera. Like, not fail on camera, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, if I put it out, like, it's gotta be the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's gotta be dope. Cause it's like, I've already established a baseline. But now I'm just like, just put it out, bro. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's where my brain is starting to go nowadays. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care how many locations we got. I don't care how many actors we got, how many credits you got on IMDb. Like, let's just shoot this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And see what happens.
Bro, y'all be killing me in the group chat. I be looking at y'all like, what if we... I'm thinking if I be like, progress over perfection.
Yep. Listen, bro, I can't.
I be like, bro, as long as we get it done. When I watch Tubi, I'm like, I don't like this, but you know what? It's finished.
It's finished.
I respect the fuck out of this shit being finished. I know the process, like to shoot, to coordinate, to feed these motherfuckers on set, like then go edit it. Shooting is the fun part.
Yeah.
Going back and sitting down and editing that whole thing together and getting the music bed and do some sound effects, like it's finished. Respect to you, bro.
Absolutely.
So even the podcast, I'm like, yo, we gotta meet at 12 o'clock at night and get this shit done and chop it. Let's get it done. And it may not be what we want now, but episode 10, 11, 12, 200, we're gonna be like, yo, this is great. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I used to watch Tubi for hours. I used to hate watch, but then I was just like, bro, I found appreciation. I was like, bro, they got it done.
I
It
mean,
may not be perfect.
Shit, we can go back to Issa Rae on YouTube with Awkward Black Girl.
Yeah.
That shit was
like the old network I used to work at. Like honestly, and they kind of use that as a model for what they were doing, and that network was so far ahead of its time because they did a lot of LGBTQIA content, and their content was fresh, it was new, and then we sort of come in and we're bringing in different lights, looks, and we're making it more professional, and everything was just really, really working great. And I think that when I think about where I was there on that side of the scripted world, and the people that I've met, and the people, I think for me personally, when it comes to the scripted stuff, like why I haven't jumped in there is honestly, full transparency, is fear. Like I'm afraid of just fucking failing. You know what I mean? Like, because so many times, like, one of my closest friends out here, he and I, we created this film, and we put it in, several different film fests and everything like that. I'm talking about our chest was pumping. We were proud as hell of this film. We were just like, yo, we did this in a weekend. This film looks great. It feels good. It's amazing. It's our voice. It's our vein. It's everything that we want. And we put it in this festival, and it got rejected. But you know what got accepted? One of the first films that I ever did that I freaking hated every single ounce of, got accepted into the same festival that rejected the film that was shot better, sounded better, acting was amazingly better. But, they took the piece of shit versus that. Wait, what's going on? So for me, it's that spirit of fear,
But take the win, though.
Take the win, take the win. I'll take.
I get you. I get it though, because I'm the same way.
But I want to win, like I was talking about earlier, about doing other people's projects. It's like I want to win for something that I know is in my brain trust, something that I know that we need, that we haven't seen, and I want to win for that. So if I haven't put anything out or done my own scripts, it's because I'm afraid of actually taking that step forward, and I'm thankful that I've got, the supportive people that I got around me, because I wouldn't even be on this podcast, bro. Like I would not be sitting here right now because like I'm always afraid of, well, what if I say something wrong? What if I do something wrong? What's going to happen next? So yeah, that's something that I'd like to work on.
I'm gonna challenge you, man. I'm gonna challenge you to get it done in short form. Like a lot of what I do is, they sketches, but I do them to the point of like, these are full-on productions. Yeah. And I want to perfect this 1 minute, these 30 seconds, this whatever it is, as quickly as possible. Because also it's a lot easier to get people to come out and donate their time if it is for 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? We're used to working 12, 16, whatever. Hey, come hang out with me for 4 hours. I get you guys some snacks. You know what I'm saying? And so that way it takes that pressure off. And a lot more people are more willing to come out and support you in something like that. And then the more that I did it, the more people were like, hey, when's the next one? When y'all doing the next one?
I be asking all the time. I'm ready to do another one.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. We would shoot tomorrow, bro. 10 to 5. That's it. It's a short time window. I asked my golf coach, I'm like, bro, can we shoot here? He said, knock yourself out. Mike, I wrote the script in CapCut and ChatGPT, bro. The ChatGPT said, give me this script. Went in the studio binder, added a few lines in, turned that shit into a call sheet. James and Clifford spending some time with me tomorrow. And that's it, bro. I'm a little bit nervous, but the shoot is in 8 hours. At this point, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we're gonna be out here with an amazing fucking camera, some Z lenses. By the time you walk on set, you see 3 black men with that camera and a dolly track and some lights. You're like, oh, and a boom mic, I'm on the right set. You know what I mean? So, bruh, release it. Don't care. Just do it, bro. Because I think I'll probably get farther along. I have a whole nother project. It's a scripted 80-page film. You know what I mean? Like, I got a deck outline, a character wish list, all this shit. I ran it by somebody. I'm waiting, hoping to see what happens next. I'm not going to wait on that project, bro. In the meantime, between time, here's this other shit. If y'all want it, it's going to be on YouTube. Let me know. And hopefully the other one breaks. If not, I'm going to go sell that shit somewhere else. But you got too much talent and too much like experience. And we got way too much fucking gear. To be sitting
y'all see behind the scenes, we out here looking
y'all can
like
see all the gear that we load up between 3-4 trucks of gear that we just keep loading up and loading up. Yeah, you're right, and I take that, I receive it, and I accept it. I'm trying, like I said, this is a new season for me. So being, very honest, not just with my work, but being honest with myself is very important to me. So I need to, definitely, take and receive that. So yeah, I get home, I'm gonna get to work. Yeah. So let's go.
I don't know what y'all talking about. Ain't no gear here. Yeah, I ain't rolling up robbing me.
Yes, there's nothing here. We're shooting these on all our iPhones. Yep. Don't look at behind the scenes.
But to wrap up, pro tip. Ideally, each week we share one pro tip or a little bit of experience that we've had on set through our daily lives that will impart to younger filmmakers, young people on set. If there's anything you gentlemen had to impart this week based off the industry, current news, whatever it may be, newest equipment, what would that one thing be? Los, yeah, one pro tip of this week. What does that look like?
Right now, it would be kind of basically what we've talked about. Don't let fear paralyze you. Get out here and do your film. If it's your first film, it's going to suck. If it's your second film, it might still suck. But don't let your film stay on the hard job. Put it out, get feedback, get better, do it. Don't wait for somebody who said they got money for you to do it. Do it first. Do the hard things first. And then allow yourself to run away to have God open up the next door for you.
I got a pro tip for you. Pro tip, if you're doing your own projects, bite size. Don't try to do a whole feature film as your first project. You're going to piss a lot of people off.
Including yourself.
Exactly. So as small of a chunk as you can do that. And then assess, refocus, get back to it.
Damn, I'm supposed to have a tip too? I thought it was
Nah.
I'm like,
You ain't no
pro tip. Try to get as much sleep as you possibly can. Even when you got a wife and 3 kids. Sleep when you can. Sleep in your car.
We gonna come back to Cliff. Cliff got all that. He don't work for Netflix. He don't work for Paramount. All them. So we gonna come back to you.
Let me see. I got an AI tip. 11 Labs. Anybody out there? This is actually a really good tip for anybody pitching shows. You can create an amazing trailer with an AI voiceover. Take your ass to 11 Labs. First of all, go to ChatGPT, give them a quick prompt for whatever your show is, whatever your idea is. Take that prompt, go to 11 Labs. You can choose from 10 to 15 different preset voiceover voices. Take that, create your intro, your mid, your outro. You will have a 1 minute foundation for your trailer that quick. Take your ass to Pexels, go get some free images, some free videos, some free images. Put that on top of your voiceover. You have a trailer you can do within the span of 2 hours. At certain points of the pitching game, you don't need a full-fledged trailer. You don't need a full-fledged nothing. I can email Nat Geo now and be like, give them a log line. They'd be like, nah, we good. Oh yeah, we like that, give us some more. So 11 Labs, quick voiceover, a nice little foundation will get you across much farther and much quicker than a full-fledged production ever will.
Well, probably would say for me, just piggybacking on the software tip, shotdeck.com. I cannot emphasize this enough, especially for anybody that is aspiring to be a DP. Studying film, studying, the science of film and science of filmmaking. This site was actually created to help you to see stills, different images from different, films from all across the board. And it was actually created by a DP. And I use it religiously. Even if I'm not in the middle of a project, I'm going to be using that because I want to look at the composition of a certain shot. Or I may be watching a movie and I'm like, man, how did they set up the lighting on that? What was their whole setup on that? I can go to Shot Deck and I can pull up that shot and I can actually see a lot of times the metadata information that's actually going to be provided. I'm not always going to get like the lighting diagrams or, the camera actual setups, but I will at least get enough information where I can build on. So yeah, that's definitely my pro tip for this week.
Cool. I guess in real life, pro tip for me is just to study your craft, in whatever capacity that you can. So now, if you have the internet, you have a phone, the knowledge is there. The information is out there. So whether or not it's going to YouTube University, whether or not it's doing a crazy Google search, whether or not it's going to ChatGPT and just asking them a question, whether or not it's listening to an audio book or watching a podcast like this, just get as much information as you possibly can about the thing that you love or the thing that you would love to do, and just get as much knowledge as you possibly can. Just overload, because your brain is a hard drive. And I don't know what the capacity is on it, but it's a lot. So just keep loading up. I like that.
Man, I think it's been another solid episode. Once again, relationship and production, I would just say communicate, lower expectations, and communicate. You out here pitching shows, just have some patience. If you can, lock in on those mandates. Keep a simple, focused production, and keep low expectations. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just stay at it. Trying to attach, as James said, the right talent, the right people, and the right relationships, of course, as Lo said. Short films was working with clients. Do what you want. Be careful. Don't overwhelm yourself. I think it's good to put yourself out there to create some amazing relationships, but at some point you need to be selfish and create for you as well. But of course, still pay those bills, number one and foremost. Again, we love having y'all here in the Camera Speed Podcast. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Podbean. We are out here. You see us on set, say what's up. If you have any questions, hit us in the chat below, and check out the next episode.